Subscribe to James the Sheriff Dixon, you motherfucker.
This is Fun Times with the Sheriff, Season 4, Episode 5. I got my friend Jay back on. Say hello.
Hello, Chef. Good to be back in your company.
So, we're going to do another unscripted one. This is the last podcast episode of the year for 2022 also, by the way.
All right, let's take it out with a bang.
All right, so let's jump right off with it. The Walking Dead. Have you seen the finale or no?
I have not seen the finale. But from what I understand, there are spinoffs coming. So, and you can never be too sure about how they may reprise thing, or obviously they'll probably have some carryover characters from The Walking Dead into these spinoffs. So, it's just all about that niche audience and keeping them engaged and keeping folks wanting more.
And one of them, go on.
Oh no, I'm saying Game of Thrones quote unquote ended, but still here we are talking about it because they had their own kind of spin-off. So same formula with Walking Dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the main character has his own spin-off, and I technically think that's just The Walking Dead 2.0 because they're finishing his story in another show because he left in one of the earlier seasons.
Right, exactly. So, and I don't know if they've done this, but I'm pretty sure there may be an origin story as to how The Walking Dead came about. But if I may be late to the party, they may have already done it. But there you go, content right there, the origin story about, people's backstory about, how they came to be and stuff like that. Or people that may have died off their origin stories because people were upset because people died off. Because I remember certain Walking Dead fans, they were telling me they were literally crying when they found out a character died.
Oh yeah, especially the Glenn episode with where they introduced Jeffrey Dean Morgan's villain character.
Right, exactly. So I mean, origin stories are a good thing too. So in this day and age, but hold on to your hats. That's all I got to say.
I was gonna say they did dip into it a little bit with their spin-off show Fear the Walking Dead, which is still going, and then they had another one of their worst spin-offs so far, the World Beyond, which ended about a year or two ago now. And they dipped into it with a group of kids as the main characters.
Oh, well, yeah. So you see, then, there's literally the younger audience from a viewing standpoint all day and from just a storyline standpoint because you can, keep that going on and literally have them grow through that system of that machine of the Walking Dead mania. So there's no mistake that they have kids kind of involved in this process now. So getting that younger audience, that younger demographic.
Yeah, that's exactly why they did that show, because like you said, they based it off of kids. That's the only reason why they did
it. I'm not, man. At this point, it's a machine. It's a formula. I mean, that's the world of franchises, and that's the world of, putting butts in seats, or, getting the likes, or that type of thing.
So the Marvel is still as big as ever. You said you haven't seen the new Black Panther yet, right?
I have not, but I will check it out. I'm intrigued to see how it pans out because I know there was some issues with Ryan Coogler and some thing with, I guess you could say not off the court, but behind the scenes, in real life, you could say, where he was kind of wrongly accused of something, and that kind of put the movie in jeopardy. But I kind of knew that it would still happen just simply because of the fact of the financial impact that the first one made, and on top of that, Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And I don't know if you knew, Sheriff, but fun fact, long before he was T'Challa, I did a scene with Chadwick Boseman on an episode of Detroit 187.
Oh, did I know that?
Yes, indeed. He was a very nice guy. I played one of the bodyguards in the scene. So I think the name of the episode is called Beaten Cover Letter. So if you guys in Sheriff Land want to go check it out in terms of just some old Chadwick Boseman, and his other bodies of work are great as well, even before Black Panther. But it was fun. I think that scene was probably the most fun as an actor because we had to, we had to do a stage a fake fight, and that was tons of fun. So
it's always
real nice guy, real humble.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say I hear it's always fun to do the fake fighting stuff behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. And unfortunately, unfortunately, he's no longer here. I remember, I think someone got injured or something happened, but yeah, just the stage and the choreograph, that whole thing was awesome. It took place down at what was then Cobo Hall. I know it has a new name now, but yeah, fun times.
Before we move on from Black Panther, I want to just mention Angela Bassett's performance in it was great. definitely, like we were talking about before this it recorded it. She definitely stepped up from the first one.
Yeah, and that's to be expected, of course, with the loss of T'Challa, the mother of him and his sister as well. From what I understand, she has a larger role in the project. So you definitely, yeah, keeping the butts in the seat. Sometimes it's just, hey, we already got a big name here with Angela Bassett. Let's figure we can draw it in, and even better, you have a female lead, so you're tapping into a male-dominated genre.
Yep.
With a female lead, kind of, as the beacon here. So it's a good thing that happened, and talented actress as well.
So speaking of movies that also just came out, I saw that new Dwayne Johnson movie, The Black Adam.
Yeah, the Black Adam. I haven't seen that one as well, but from what I understand, it is kind of competition for the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And I can understand that DC is trying to always chip away, and rightfully so, in the name of competition. You've got content that both folks that enjoy those comic book movies can dive into. So, I'm a fan of The Rock as well. Taller guy like myself. But yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie and supporting his. I like watching it. He's got a TV show. I like watching that show. So
and then it did surprise me how good it was, because I heard that this was DC's first movie from going into their new change that they're doing to revamp the Snyderverse stuff or whatever. Henry Cavill came back as Superman.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice. So yeah, it's that's cool. That's cool. You got to bring in those names. That's kind of carry the load, and it's awesome that they kind of brought him back. And even though Zack Snyder, may not have panned out as he wanted, but he's still kind of a force to reckon with. Another fun fact, Sheriff. He directed Real Steel, which I was also an extra in, along with my wife. So it was a great opportunity to meet him, of course, but I was an extra. But yeah, he was that was kind of his early start of his career. So
and then he did get what he wanted, like you were just saying. He got his almost a full day's worth of movie, the Snyder cut out.
Right. And he'll be around. I mean, kind of like M. Night Shyamalan. Sometimes they hit a dip of oh man, that movies aren't up to par. People don't like it, or less amount of people like it than those people that love it. But that might have been the case with Zack Snyder, and I think he's got enough staying power. Like M. Night Shyamalan, he hit a low, but he's still in the mix. I'm pretty sure he's a bankable director and what have you. So
I brought Black Adam up because it's been a minute since I've seen a Dwayne Johnson movie, and I know he does a bunch of funny movies now, and he was very serious in this one, because this one's supposed to be he's supposed to play the bad guy of Shazam.
Right, exactly. And that's how he kind of got his start with the Mummy and the Scorpion King. Remember when he first broke into the movies? He was the bad guy. So kind of going back to his creative roots or character roots, if you would. So I mean, and that for that matter, in the wrestling game, when he first came out, it was Rocky Maivia. He was a heel, or what they call a heel, which is a bad guy. So I mean, maybe it works, but I think he's got great timing in terms of just his acting abilities, and yeah, I enjoy his stuff, and he's very charismatic as well. So
then I got also here on my list of movies. I just watched Bullet Train tonight. That with Brad Pitt in it.
Okay.
It was really interestingly filmed, and it was a Japanese movie, but it also wasn't.
Gotcha. Yeah, Brad Pitt, Joey King, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yep, and it all takes place on a train.
Yeah. So Sandra Bullock is in it as well. So you can't go wrong with having that seems a pretty good cast. But yeah. So wow, I'm just reading here. Their budget was about $90 million. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yes, indeed, between 85 and 90 million.
That's pretty low for a Brad Pitt movie.
That it is. Seeing that he is one gentleman, along with Sandra Bullock, that can command, hey, I want $20 million.
Yeah.
Close to it.
Which is half of some movies' budgets these days.
but but no, I have to check that one out as well in terms of Bullet Train. I'm sure people are buzzed about it. I know it's getting mixed reviews, but that shouldn't stop. I
Yeah.
always say keep open mind with what people, and we talked about this, Sheriff. Just, quote unquote bad movies and stuff. You always got to go see it for yourself.
Yep. To make your decision on it, yeah. Keep like you said, keep an open mind because everybody has a story to tell.
Exactly. And I'm finding out that, this entertainment business is really kind of, in a way, the transportation business, but it's that of your mind. Like, for you to escape for 2 hours, let everything, around you kind of put on pause so you kind of enjoy yourself, regroup, dust yourself off, take a breather, that type of thing. That's very important.
I'm also noticing that movies are trying to hit that 2 hour mark ever since the last two Avengers movies in the theaters were like almost 3 hours, and they found out people will sit down for a 3 hour movie. And the last 2 years since then, or it's almost been 5 now, I've been seeing the movies I've been going to have been 2 to 3 hours long almost now.
Yeah, well, here, Avatar 3D is, and then of that soon just like 2+ hours or what have you, but those are naturally long anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, hey man, if people love it, they'll love it. They have a following for it. Like I'm pretty sure folks who love Avatar, which I wasn't one of them, I enjoyed the movie. We'll sit down for Avatar 3D, and kind of compare and stuff like that. So
I was personally surprised when now that you brought up Avatar, when they finally released the trailer for it. I kind of laughed when I saw the trailer. It's like, it's been almost a long time since they announced the original date, and now it's finally coming out.
Yeah, well, it goes to show, man, it can be some years and things happen. People are a fan. They're a fan. I mean, look at my favorite, Coming to America. I mean, that was, in the 80s, and then last year or year before last, whenever, I can't remember when that was, but, folks who were watching that and, that type of thing, and they kept a lot of the original characters in it. So, but, hey, you're a fan, that brand loyalty doesn't dissipate. Speaking
of that, Ryan Reynolds has been in a lot of movies lately. What was the last Ryan Reynolds movie you've seen?
Oh, The Hitman's Bodyguard, I believe.
No, that came out like a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. That had this kind of unbelievable parts, if you will, but there's fake moments to it. But it was Ryan Reynolds, it was Samuel L. Jackson, and go along for the ride. So it was pretty good though. Like I said, just kind of the effects of it was kind of like, okay, here you got a guy flying through a car windshield and gets up as if he, well, number one, he gets up, so come on now.
And he's not a superhero either in that.
But it was okay. But I know that he's coming back. They're doing Deadpool 2.
The 3.
That's 3. I'm sorry.
Yes, with Hugh Jackman coming back out of retirement because Ryan Reynolds asked him.
So there you go. And just like The Walking Dead, and quote unquote retiring as an actor, do you really retire? Because a lot of people, I mean, there are some exceptions, but there are a lot of people that say they're going to retire. They don't necessarily hang up their acting ability. They may be taking a breather, but there are those that are like, hey, I'm done. Like, I think Sean Connery comes to mind. He just was like, hey, I'm done. He didn't, after he said that, I don't think he made another title, and he passed away at 90s. So.
But there's one more show I want to bring up. There's this new Addams Family show on Netflix. You've heard about it?
I have not. What is the name of it?
It's called Wednesday.
Oh no! Oh, about from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Adam Sandler. Yes, I've heard of Wednesday. Yes.
She's the main character of this, and it's live action, and it's directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be a winner. I haven't checked it out yet, but yeah, Luis Guzman and Jenny Ortega.
Mm-hmm.
Again, kind of an origin story type of thing. And we just kind of talked about that, but they know there are, it's an audience there for it. So.
I was surprised how good it was because I watched it when I got off work on like that Friday after Thanksgiving, and I binged like the first 5 or 6 episodes. I just have the last 2 now to watch.
Awesome.
And they're an hour long each.
You like it?
Oh, I thought it was, like I said, it was surprisingly good.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm surprised. It'd be nice if they brought back the original Gomez, because he's actually still alive. He's in his 90s, but I wonder if they asked him that he want to partake in the Wednesday series.
I was gonna say the mom, the wife, is the original one though, right? Isn't she in this?
I don't think she is because I think she's passed away. But John Aston is his name. He played the original Gomez. But yeah, he's still around. Ted, he's still around. I just saw him on a. I was watching the throwback episode of Batman, the TV live action cartoon, live action superhero show, and he played the Riddler for one episode. But yeah, he's still alive. He's still alive. But yeah, but no, again, it's content. It's, as we've talked about before, Hollywood knows what kind of sales, so they'll pump their formula and their resources behind things like that. And one thing that's kind of good because you always have some kind of entertainment, as I mentioned, to shut your brain off, but also as well it revitalizes certain things so other people, a new audience.
Oh, yep.
They're, hey, what's this Wednesday thing? I thought it was the day of the week. Or they never thought about the original Addams Family, or they had no idea it was a black and white TV show. But
yeah,
it inspires a whole other generation.
Or some people these days might not have even heard of the movies, like you were just saying, the older ones.
Right, exactly. So they had no idea, but yet it's out there, and that's just how the business works. And, hey, for better for worse, that's just a smart thing to do. I think also there should be some more shine for independent filmmakers on that platform stage, but that's not always the case. But alternatively, if you are an independent or newer filmmaker and you can't get in that studio system, I mean, then you do have your straight to DVDs, your Netflix, your Hulus,
all these other apps, yeah,
that these guys are cranking out. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be in the.
So I got one more thing to bring up. That Tim Allen is back as Santa Claus on a new TV show.
I recently heard about that. So again, I'm sure folks don't know about Tool Time. And Tool Time was huge. It was huge, a big success. And I think he was, at the time, he set a record for having the #1 TV show
of that year or whatever.
That year, the #1 TV show, the #1 movie, and I think the #1 book. I think that's like a Guinness record of some sort. But he was #1 movie, #1 TV show, and #1 book, I believe. If not book, but definitely TV show and movie. He held that record for that week's time or however duration that was. But yeah, again, folks probably may not know about Tool Time. But they'll find out now with Last Man Standing. I'm pretty sure they know more stuff from that than Tool Time.
Or they haven't even seen the original Santa Claus movies because I was like 10 when they came out in like 2001.
Exactly. So that was 22, going on 23 years ago. So hey, now, the holidays coming about, it's all the more reason for people to kind of go check it out.
I'm all caught up with it. It's like, that's at a weird, like, storyline. He's like, they're going through an identity crisis and he wants to retire as Santa.
Oh, wow. Another fun fact is, Sheriff, he is from Michigan.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
My mom met him multiple times when he did some promotional stuff for her job back when we used to live in Redford.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah. So, but yeah, again, I mean, it's just that now we'll see of the marketing, the buzz, and all that kind of stuff. It intrigues a lot of people on various levels, whether you know it from the first time or you're getting exposed to it for the first time.
So we went over everything. Is there any like final words that you want to say? Like anything you want to promote? Whatever.
Oh no! I just want to say it's been a pleasure. You can check out some of the things for my current situation. The Futures Explored, our YouTube channel, and Sheriff, I'll shoot you the link. But,
okay, I'll put it in the comments in my thing. Yep.
Yes, indeed. So we're doing short form content. Recently, we had a screening of our movie, which was a TV show takeoff or parody of The Office. So we called it The Office Explorers. So, and yeah, we're in the process of kind of shopping that around in the world of film festivals. So, but yeah, check it out, The Office Explorers, and we do have other content there. And again, Sheriff, I'll make sure that you check out some of
All
our
right.
YouTube content. And man, again, thanks for having me on.
And thanks for coming on.
I just want to shout out an amazing channel, James the Sheriff Dixon. Oh, he's such a great guy, and he is super cool for coming to the show. I'm glad I got to meet him in person, and you should subscribe.